Hong Kong is Asia's premier financial capital. Its links with China have sent the city's financial, property, and luxury retail markets soaring as high as the towers of its iconic skyline. However, this same growth is also driving office rents to stratospheric highs that experts say will have the perverse effect of reversing the city's fortunes unless urgent action is taken. With land in short supply and its rents the most expensive in the world, Hong Kong is running out of the premium office space it needs to attract multinational companies and keep up with the region's rapid growth. In a new report, Jones Lang LaSalle recommends several steps the government should take now to reverse the chronic shortfall of quality office space and ensure Hong Kong's future prosperity.
Hong Kong is uniquely positioned at the doorstep of China, and China is going to drive tremendous growth over the next decade. Hong Kong has already outgrown its existing 23 million square feet of Grade A office space in Central, and we think the government's CBD2 plan to develop Kowloon East will be an excellent step towards relieving that market pressure. However, that plan is at least 10 to 15 years away from becoming maturity, and we think Hong Kong needs to be involved in the meantime, so it needs more space right now.
All eyes are fixed on the government's plan to redevelop Kowloon East, which includes the former Kai Tak Airport site and surrounding areas, into a second central business district that will satisfy the demand for prime office space. But experts at Jones Lang LaSalle say the best way the government can aid its long-term vision for a CBD2 in Kowloon is to pair it with a plan embracing existing business districts on Hong Kong Island as well. The answers to the city's space problems in Central lie not only across Victoria Harbour, but to the east in Wan Chai, Causeway Bay, and Island East.
Spreading east, or an expansion of the CBD in an eastern direction in key commercial clusters around Wan Chai, Causeway Bay, and Hong Kong East, is the perfect solution to that holistic plan, showing occupiers and businesses in the city that there is a short, a medium, and a long-term solution to real estate needs in Hong Kong.
The report also recommends that the government upgrade these three areas to the east of Central by improving transport and MTR links, increasing the landscaping at street level, and creating enterprise zones to encourage private companies to redevelop or revitalize these locations. By creating a unified master plan that pairs the immediate upgrading of existing business districts on Hong Kong Island with the long-term goal of developing a CBD2 in Kowloon, Hong Kong will take a step in the right direction towards maintaining its lead among financial centers of the world.
The private sector is very important in speeding up the development of commercial landscape in Hong Kong. One of the reasons being greenfield sites, they are rarely available, especially in Hong Kong Island right now. So that's really not much the government can do in releasing any new greenfield sites for commercial development. So it has to rely somehow on private sector developers or landlords to either renovating their buildings or redeveloping their buildings on Hong Kong Island. And I think Hong Kong East, for example, and Wan Chai Causeway Bay, particularly the northern part of Wan Chai, for example, it's very good positioned to do any kind of commercial redevelopment, because all these districts, they have very good business amenities being clustered already. Infrastructure is good, connectivity is good. So I think instead of, as I mentioned before, instead of waiting for another 10 to 15 years for the maturity of Kowloon East, I think it's relatively easy for both the government and private sector landlords. They try to facelift some of these areas to offer more new commercial offerings within these areas.
Our views on the holistic integrated approach are around taking care of the short and the medium term as well as the long term. We're delighted that the government has taken the CBD2 initiative, but we feel that it will take time to plan and structure and deliver. And in the interim, we're strongly of the view that organizations based in Hong Kong need to be able to see a sustainable future here. So that holistic integrated approach involving an eastern expansion of the CBD and Hong Kong Island, we think is critical to the city's short and medium-term success, and will dovetail very nicely into the city's longer-term plans to develop CBD2 as an extension of the existing core business district. Well, Wan Chai Causeway Bay and the Island East districts are core business locations because as an extension of the CBD, they would give us an expansion from around 23 to about 55 million square feet. And within those districts, there are core commercial clusters around which are all of the amenities such as clubs, restaurants, etc., that are essential for businesses. But they're also very well connected to the existing core location by a road network and the MTR network, and are a very short distance away from the existing CBD. Well, I think this change will take place with a very close partnership between the private and the public sector. The private sector are critical to this process. But to really drive this change and to drive this eastern expansion, we feel that the government, in addition to what they're doing at CBD2, ought to put actions in place in zones in Wan Chai Causeway Bay and Hong Kong East that promote redevelopment or refurbishment as further encouragement for organisations that have traditionally been occupiers in Central to move in that direction. Within those zones, actions that the government could take would be things like increasing plot ratios or giving bonus plot ratios. So where a developer is allowed to build a certain amount on a site, they could maybe allow them to build or develop a little bit more as an incentive to make it financially attractive for the developer to either refurbish or redevelop. So ideas like that as a catalyst to help the private sector come with the public sector in driving this change. At CBD2, the government needs to do the following to ensure the district's success. Firstly, they need a plan and a structure and a timeline that the business community in Hong Kong can have confidence in. They need to ensure that there is clustering of uses at the site, i.e. commercial clusters and residential and clusters of amenities, all of the important components of a successful business district. They need to make sure that private and public access to the site is seamless and easy as it is into a location like Central. And they also need to make sure that the lifestyle side of the site and the gentrification of the site is taken care of so that it feels like a CBD location and it feels like the centre of a city. At the moment, the location understandably feels like an industrial location. That transformation needs to be taken care of carefully so that the environment and the atmosphere in that location are much the same as the environment and the atmosphere that we've got today, for example, in locations like Central, Wan Chai Causeway Bay, and Hong Kong East.
Close up. Shot of tram passing HSBC. Data. 微博。 住你飯後會鳩啊！好，幫你住。Just later. Okay.